In the summer of 2016, after an intense free agency process, Kevin Durant decided to shock the world by leaving the Oklahoma City Thunder to join the 73-win Golden State Warriors after blowing a 3-1 lead against them in the conference finals and then eventually losing to them in 7 games. I believe that if he just stayed the course with the Thunder and trusted in Sam Presti, he would have been a champion within 3 seasons with the Thunder. In this video, I'm going to break down how realistically that would have happened and how this is one of the more underrated what-ifs in recent memory. But before we jump into it, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe and hit that like button so I can keep creating content for y'all. Roughly a week before free agency officially began in the summer of 2016, with Kevin Durant's decision looming over the Oklahoma City Thunder, Sam Presti decided to make a forward-thinking move by trading Serge Ibaka to the Orlando Magic for Victor Oladipo, Ersan Ilyasova, and the draft rights to Domantas Sabonis. Sam Presti saw it as a move that strengthened their position to keep Kevin Durant in a Thunder uniform for years to come because it made the team younger, deeper, and more versatile, and positioned Durant for long-term success with the franchise. Now, Oladipo wasn't the All-NBA player quite yet, but he was still a very good player at both ends of the floor. And even though Ibaka was a big-time contributor for the franchise, Presti decided they have Steven Adams, who at 22 years old was younger than Ibaka and capable of doing most of the things that made him so valuable. They also got Ilyasova, who was a strong stretch 4 and valuable on the defensive side, particularly at drawing charges, who they very quickly flipped for Jeremy Grant, who was essentially a younger approximation of Ilyasova, and now had a young promising big man in Domantas Sabonis, who averaged 17 points and 12 rebounds for Gonzaga. Durant decided to leave anyway to join 3 All-Stars in Golden State, but I believe he missed a golden opportunity with the Thunder. Take a look at this starting lineup and second unit that Presti came deadly close to assembling had Kevin Durant decided to stay. That is a loaded team right there. In fact, it's an improved team to the one that nearly beat the 73-win Warriors to advance to the NBA Finals. Now, I'm not saying that the Thunder would necessarily be favorites to win the NBA championship, but they would have come back stronger against the Warriors the following year and would have had a very strong shot at defeating them to advance to the NBA Finals, and would have posed as a serious threat to the Cavs in the 2016-17 season. They certainly would have been contenders that year. If the Oklahoma City Thunder failed to win a championship or again fell to the Warriors, Presti would have performed yet another magic trick, as we all know he did, by trading Oladipo and Sabonis for top 10 player Paul George. This would have sent shockwaves throughout the league as a new and dominant Big Three just entering their prime would have been formed. This would have been a team with 3 top 10 players under one franchise with loads of depth and versatility to surround them. Now let me ask you guys, do you really think that the trifecta of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, or LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Love would have been a more dominant Big Three than a prime Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and Paul George? Yeah, Steph Curry and LeBron were both top 5 players in the league, but were Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Kyrie, and Kevin Love top 10 players? I don't believe that was the consensus out there. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and Paul George were all considered top 10 players in the league, Durant of which was considered the second best player in the NBA at that moment. Take a look at the starting lineup and second unit of the team they would have had in the 2017-18 season. Look at the players that Big Three would have been surrounded with. I think this team would not only have been an offensive force, but a defensive juggernaut. You'd be hard-pressed to find many weaknesses in this squad. I don't know about you guys, but I would have picked the Thunder as favorites to win the championship that year and the following year. Had Kevin Durant stayed with the Thunder, Sam Presti would have built a potential dynasty around him within 1 year of resigning. He would very likely have had multiple championships with the team that drafted him had he stayed. At the very least, he would have had 1 championship. Now look, I know Kevin Durant is considered a 2-time champion, but let's be honest, if he stayed and won a championship with the team that drafted him, his rings would get far more respect, and Durant would have been solidified as the greatest player in the league, and would be ranked even higher as an all-time player. I believe this is one of the greatest lost opportunities and greatest what-ifs that surprisingly no one talks about. What do you guys think? Had Durant stayed in OKC, how many championships do you believe he would have won with the Thunder? Do you believe it would have affected his legacy more positively to do so with the Thunder than the Warriors? Let me know in the comments section. And once again, if you like this video, subscribe and hit that like button. Thanks so much for watching. Till the next one, guys, I'm out.